Hello students, welcome to AKS. Today we will deal with the PIB analysis for the 5th week of August. Agreement between India and Peru. What is the context for this? The Union Cabinet has recently approved signing of agreement between the National Medical Plans Board of the Ministry of Ayush of India and the National Institute of Health of the Ministry of Health of the Republic of Peru on cooperation in the field of medicinal plants. Let us look into a brief background of this. India is one of the richest countries in the world in terms of biodiversity, and more than 7,000 species of plants are estimated to have medicinal usage in folk and documented systems of traditional medicines like Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy. The Republic of Peru is one of the Latin American countries which are the biodiversity hotspots in the world, and like India, Peru is also having rich biodiversity of medicinal plants and medicinal plants based traditional medical practices. Okay. So what is going to be the major impact of this agreement? Considering the fact that both the countries have rich medicinal plants biodiversity and medicinal plant based indigenous traditional system of medicines, and recognizing the existing friendly and cooperative relations, the proposed agreement will further enhance bilateral cooperation between the two countries in area of medicinal plants. This will be of immense importance to both the countries. This agreement will provide structured framework for cooperation between the two countries on medicinal plants. So what is the implementation strategy and the targets for achieving this? The activities between the two parties will start immediately after signing the agreement. The initiatives taken by two countries will be in accordance with the terms of reference of the agreement and will continue till the agreement remains in operation. So, what could be the expenditure involved? There is no additional financial implication involved in this agreement. The financial resources necessary to conduct research, training courses, conferences, and meetings will be met from the existing allocated budget and existing plan schemes of the National Medicinal Plants Board of the Ministry of Ayush. Next, Cabinet approves MOU between India and Gambia. So what is the context for this? The Union Cabinet has given ex post facto approval for the MOU between India and Gambia in the field of traditional systems of medicine. What is the significance of this agreement? This MOU will provide a framework for cooperation between India and Gambia for promotion of traditional systems of medicine and mutually benefit the two countries in this field. Activities mentioned in the MOU will boost the importance of Ayush system in Gambia. As a consequence of the MOU, the exchange of experts for training of practitioners, scientists, undertaking collaborative research in traditional systems of medicine are expected to lead to new innovations in drug development and practice of traditional medicine. Next, Cabinet approves proposal for review of FDI policy on various sectors. Okay, let us look into a brief background of this issue. FDI is a major driver of economic growth and a source of non-debt finance for the economic development of the country. Government has put in place an investor-friendly policy on FDI, under which FDI up to 100% is permitted on automatic route in most of the sectors or activities. Also, FDI policy provisions have been progressively liberalized across various sectors in recent years to make India an attractive investment destination. Some of the sectors include defense, construction development, trading, pharmaceuticals, power exchange, and the like. Okay. These reforms have contributed to India attracting a record FDI inflows in the last 5 years. The total FDI into India from the year 2015 to 2019 has been US dollar 286 billion as compared to US dollar 189 billion in the 5-year period prior to that. In fact, the total FDI in the year 2018 to 19 is the highest ever FDI received for any financial year. Okay? So what is the major impact and the benefits from the FDI reform policy? The changes in FDI policy will result in making India a more attractive FDI destination, leading to benefits of increased investments, employment, and growth. Also, in the coal sector, For the sale of coal, 100% of FDI under automatic route for coal mining and activities including associated processing infrastructure will attract international players to create an efficient and competitive coal market. Further, manufacturing through contract contributes equally to the objective of Make in India. FDI now being permitted under automatic route in contract manufacturing will be a big boost to manufacturing sector in India. Easing local sourcing norms for FDI in single brand retail trading was announced in the Union Budget speech of Finance Minister. This will lead to a greater flexibility as well as ease of operations for SBRT entities. Also, besides creating a level playing field for companies with higher exports in a base year. In addition, permitting online sales prior to opening of brick and mortar stores brings policy in sync with the current market practices. Online sales will also lead to creation of jobs in logistics, digital payments, customer care, training and product skilling. The above amendments to the FDI policy are meant to liberalize and simplify the FDI policy to provide ease of doing business in the country, leading to larger FDI inflows and thereby contributing to the growth of investment, income, and employment. Next, establishment of an international CDRI, that is the International Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. Okay. So what is the CDRI? The CDRI is proposed to be launched at the UN Climate Action Summit. This UN Climate Action Summit is organized by the UN General Secretary. This event will bring together the largest number of heads of states to generate commitments for combating the effects of climate change and the resulting disasters, thus providing a high-level visibility required for the CDRI. A global coalition for disaster resilient infrastructure will address concerns that are common to developing and the developed countries, small and large economies, and countries at early and advanced stages of infrastructure development and countries that have moderate or high disaster risk. Also, a few concrete initiatives work at the intersection of Sendai Framework as well as the Sustainable Development Goals and climate change adoption with a focus on infrastructure. So what could be the possible impact of CDRI at New Delhi? The CDRI will serve as a platform where knowledge is generated and exchanged on different aspects of disaster and climate resilience of infrastructure. It will bring together technical expertise from a multitude of stakeholders. In doing so, it will create a development in accordance with their risk content and economic needs. This initiative will benefit all sections of the society. Economically weaker sections of the society, women and children are the most vulnerable to the impacts of disaster, and hence they will be benefited from the improvement of knowledge and practice in creating disaster resilient infrastructure. It will also benefit all areas with high disaster risk. In India, if you see, the northeastern states and the Himalayan regions are prone to earthquakes, and the coastal areas are prone to cyclones and tsunamis, and the central peninsula region is prone to droughts. Thus, the CDRI will be in a position to tackle these issues. Next, online junction for school education, that is Shagun. Recently, the Union Human Resource Development Minister launched one of the world's largest integrated online junction for school education, which is called as Shagun. Okay, what is this initiative? The School Education Shagun is an overarching initiative to improve school education system. This is done so by creating a junction for all online portals and websites relating to various activities of the Department of School Education and Literacy in the Government of India and all states and union territories. Shagun is coined from two different words, that is Shala meaning the schools and Gunavatta meaning quality. The online junction of different websites and portals into a single platform will enhance the accessibility of information relating to schools and will ensure a holistic approach to transform the education sector. The portal seeks to connect approximately 92 lakh teachers and 26 crore students. So what are the major focus areas of the portal? Reinforcing and cleaning the data of the integrated online junction through feedback from various stakeholders is one of the important focus area. Also, ensuring full interoperability among the websites, portals, and applications which are already hosted into the junction. Also, creating the high quality e-counters, quizzes, and puzzles to enhance learning, and also providing aid to teachers in their classroom transactions. Using artificial intelligence and developing machine learning in a variety of ways so as to enhance the quality of education, including for designing evidence-based inventions, is also one of the primary focus. Next, mobile application Jan Aushadhi Sugam, launched for locating outlets and searching generic medicines. Okay, so what is the significance of this Jan Aushadhi Sugam? The Minister for Chemicals and Fertilizers announced that Jan Aushadhi Suvidha oxo biodegradable sanitary napkin will now be available at only 1 rupee per pad. Jan Aushadhi Sugam app will enable people to search for Jan Aushadhi generic medicines and the stores at the tip of their fingers. About 28 million girls are reported to be leaving education because of lack of availability of good sanitary napkin pads at a reasonable cost. The Government of India launched the Jan Aushadhi Suvidha Oxo biodegradable sanitary napkin at just Rs 250 per pad on the eve of World Environmental Day. This initiative comes with a special additive which makes it biodegradable when it comes in contact with oxygen after being discarded. This is also an important step in ensuring the health security for the section of Indian women who still use unhygienic aids during menstrual period due to non-affordability of sanitary pads available in the market. This will ensure Swachhata, Swasthya and Suvidha for the underprivileged women of the country. This step was taken by the Department of Pharmaceuticals of the Government of India. This app would have user-friendly options like to locate nearby stores, direction guidance for the location through Google Maps for the consumers as well. This app will also enable to search Jan Aushadhi generic medicines and analyze product comparison of generic versus branded medicine in the form of MRP and the overall savings to the end customers. Okay. Next, India pledges to restore 50 lakh hectares. What is the context for this? India will be hosting the 14th Conference of Parties to the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, that is UNCCD. So, what is this UNCCD of this Conference of Parties? India is currently the president of UNCCD COP for the next 2 years. The convention entered into force in the year of 1996 in the month of December. It is one of the 3 Rio conventions along with the United Nations Framework Convention of Climate Change and the Convention of Biological Diversity of the Rio Convention. The main objective of the convention is to combat desertification and mitigate the effects of drought in countries experiencing serious drought or desertification. Also, involving long-term integrated strategies that focus simultaneously in affected areas on improved productivity of the land, the rehabilitation, conservation, and sustainable management of land and water resources, leading to improved living conditions, in particular at the community level, is also one of the major objectives. The UNCCD is particularly committed to a bottom-up approach, encouraging the participation of local people in combating desertification and land degradation. Next, Tenzing Norgay National Adventure Award. So what is this award about? These awards are given every year with the objective to recognize the achievements of persons in the fields of adventure and to encourage young people to develop the spirit of endurance, risk-taking, cooperative teamwork, and quick, ready, effective reflexes in challenging situations. This will also provide an incentive to the young people for getting exposed to adventure activities. Next, MOU signed between the Department of Social Justice and Empowerment and the National AIDS Control Organization. Okay, so what are the salient points of this MOU? Number 1, inclusion of the target groups of NACO and the National Action Plan for Drug Demand Reduction in the programs of NAPDDR and NACO for awareness generation. Number two, create awareness and educate people about the ill effects of drug abuse on the individual, on the family, workplace, and the society at large, and thus reduce stigmatization and discrimination against groups, individuals dependent on drugs in order to integrate them back into the society. Next, develop human resources and build capacity in order to strengthen the service delivery mechanism for drug addiction treatment. Next, developing various welfare schemes aiming at social inclusion and empowerment of transgenders who face extreme social alienation, enhancing their vulnerability to HIV and drug abuse. The next important objective is to address the risk of HIV transmission among all substance users through preventive risk reduction, messaging on HIV or STI, and linkages with integrated testing and counseling centers. Next, JAL Shakti Abhiyan becomes Jan Andolan. What is the context? The Cabinet Secretary reviewed the work done so far under the JAL Shakti Abhiyan, and in particular the second field visit of the 1,100 central government officers to the 20. So what is this JAL Shakti Abhiyan? Inspired by the Prime Minister's impetus on Jal Sanchai, the JAL Shakti Abhiyan is a time-bound, mission-mode water conservation campaign. The JAL Shakti Abhiyan will run in two phases. Phase 1 from the 1st of July to the 15th of September 2019 for all states and union territories. Phase 2 from the 1st of October to 30th of October 2019 for states and union territories receiving the retreating monsoon, that is Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Puducherry and Tamil Nadu. During the campaign, officers, groundwater experts and scientists from the Government of India will work together with the state and district officials in India's most water-stressed districts for water conservation and water resource management by focusing on accelerated implementation of 5 target interventions. The JAL Shakti Abhiyan aims at making water conservation a Jan Andolan through asset creation and extensive communication. Okay, that's about JAL Shakti Abhiyan. Next, all villages will be linked with Wi-Fi through GrameenNet soon. So let us look into further details of this program. BharatNet plans to provide 1 Gbps connectivity which will be extended up to 10 Gbps and CDOT's XGS-PON scheme. It will help in a great way to achieve this. The minister launched CDOT's latest innovations, CSAT-FI and CDOT's interoperable set-top box. So the CSAT-FI technology of CDOT will empower Indian people, especially in rural and remote areas, as telephone and Wi-Fi facilities will be available in all corners of the country on any mobile phone from now onwards. Next, 5th Aqua Aquaria India 2019. So recently, India's International Aquaculture Show, organized by the Marine Products Export Development Authority (MPEDA), was organized in Hyderabad. So what are the details of this? The Vice President of India has said that environmentally friendly aquaculture can serve as a vehicle for rural development, food and nutritional security for rural masses, considering the substantial contribution of aquaculture that it makes towards socio-economic development in terms of income and employment. Highlighting the government's resolve to double farmers' income by 2022, the Vice President underscored the necessity of ensuring that the economic benefits from fisheries reach the primary producers, the fishermen and fish farmers. Also cautioning that recklessly exploitation of limited resources, especially endangered marine species, must be strictly prevented. The Vice President also stressed that the promotion, regulation, monitoring of responsible fishing practices through robust fisheries management and governance frameworks are essential for the sustainability of fisheries resources in both coastal areas and high seas. Also, Asia is the largest fish producer in the world, and in the year 2016, 85% of the global population engaged in fisheries and aquaculture sectors was dwelling in Asia. In India, only after independence in the year 1947 was fisheries recognized as a sector with great potential for growth. Mechanization commenced in the year 1950, which has revolutionized harvest and post harvest activities. Today, India is the second largest fish producer in the world with a production of 13.7 million metric tons of fish during 2018 to 19. Fish constituted about 10% of total exports from India and almost 20% of agricultural exports in the year 2017 to 18. With export earnings of $7 billion, India is the fourth largest exporter of fish in the world. Contribution of fisheries to the GDP is about 1% and about 5.3% to the agricultural GDP. JAL Jeevan Mission. What is the context of this? The Union Minister of Jal Shakti, Shri Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, chaired a conference of state ministers on JAL Jeevan Mission. What is JAL Jeevan Mission? The major objective of JAL Jeevan Mission is to provide piped water supply, that is Har Ghar Jal, to all rural and urban households by the year 2024. It also seeks to converge with other central and state government schemes so as to achieve these objectives of sustainable water supply management across India. Through the initiative, the government will promote creation of local infrastructure for rainwater harvesting, groundwater recharge, and management of household wastewater for reuse in agriculture. So that is our JAL Jeevan Mission. Thank you. Have a good day.